We'll reopen our commissioner meeting. On the approved meeting minutes from 6/18/2025.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
Motion from Rob, second from Steve to approve the meeting minutes from 6/18/2025. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approval, payroll, longevity. Approval of claims. We have those.
Worry about it again.
I think I emailed you guys with a browser.
Motion approved.
Done there.
Motion from Steve and a second from Rob to the claims. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Um. Sorry. Is that separate from claims? The credit cards will be. Okay, so we have an Anthem weekly.
Yes, and that's an automatic, because we're self-insured, so we get a bill whenever and have to pay, but that's always within your claim packet, so it's probably just at the bottom.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, so that was a part of it, so it's not separate, all right. And then we have a credit card claim for $1,876 even, $1,876 even.
Motion to, make that.
Second.
Motion from Rob, second from Steve to approve credit card claims. All in favor, say aye. Okay. All right, we have brought down to our appointment, Mary Kay with Newton County Health Board, practical service for Human Fruits.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am Mary Kay Emrich. I think you knew that. And I'm the chair of the Newton County Health Board. As you're aware, our public health nurse has accepted a position and we are in the process of hiring a new public health nurse. We have to advertise, perform interviews and make our selection as a board and then make that recommendation. The problem we have is that we have other activities that have to be done. So Kayla Cruz, who's our exiting public health nurse, has agreed to perform administrative duties in vaccination clinics as a contractor. What we need today is for the commissioners to recommend to the council an hourly rate for her to function as a contractor. The health board is requesting $65 an hour as she is licensed and certified to perform the tasks, and we have to have someone who is licensed and registered to perform vaccinations.
Okay, and I think within the conversations that we've had with, because we've done this with others, that have left or come in to do contractual type of work,
Yes.
they have to be licensed,
Bonded and have liability.
yes. Because she's performing those types of duties as well, it just, that liability with that has to fall on the contractor
Okay.
themselves.
Since, I mean, is she still technically our employee at this second, or is she?
She is our employee until tomorrow.
Yes.
We just post a whole bag, keep her on our insurance and bond until this is done. On an hourly basis instead of the.
You might be concerned.
No, can you?
I think we around this like.
From my understanding, I mean,
That
Mike,
was
did
the
you
way.
have to get, I'm sorry, were you contracted and you had to get that as well?
Yes,
Yeah,
I carry
yeah.
all those requirements,
Yeah, right.
plus several.
But would be possible. Put on line item some part-time. She would have benefits, but she would still be a county employee, part-time at a rate other than a person with a contract.
That's what I was getting at, it's just our employee is over part-time.
I'm just a fan.
But then the
What's the
part-time
duration
rate
of
would have to
time?
change substantially then, because our normal part-time rate is
You'd have to do a certain, yeah,
Right,
I agree with that.
yeah.
And my question is, would that hinder the hiring of new public health nurse?
I would hope not.
As far as the part-time part or the contractual?
As far as the part-time, as far as keeping Kayla in a part-time status?
And then allow all the striker feet, what you're saying.
I'm sorry,
And then allow all striker feet. We got her.
It will not hinder because you're still advertising, you're the
Yeah.
full-time position open.
Make a part-time position for X amount of months. However,
Okay with that?
well, I
Well,
I
no.
know about that, I just suggest.
And what they're gonna have to do an additional, and then you'll have to do something for salary ordinance anyway. I mean, on the part-time, you would contract.
since we wouldn't be paying someone full-time, the monies, both the county monies and the public health grant monies that are used to cover her salary would still be tapped into.
But you gotta move it to that.
But you'd have to put it in that line item.
Right.
Right.
It takes, it would take
So that's gonna be
action,
appropriate.
might not take more dollars, but take action to
Okay.
get that to them. Does that make sense?
Is this just for the shot clinic through school starting?
And administrative duties, there are reports that have to be filed with the state every month.
So that would be until.
That would be
person
part of my
retires.
responsibility as well.
Have you all started advertising?
Yes,
Okay, so the advertising's out there and then it
yes,
just depends on the qualification for qualified applicants that are coming.
yes.
What's the cleanest way to do that?
Easiest way is to have, be able to do it $65 an hour, not questions the body. I keep her part-time, I don't know how hard that is to do.
It'll have to come in front of council next meeting to approve the salary ordinance, unless you're gonna do it now, well, because they're close, so. You'll have to wait till next month. I mean, and they can pro retro, yeah, back to this date or as
And then
of
somewhere-
Monday's date, because tomorrow's their last day.
And one would either contractual or, part-time, then there's gonna have to be action taken to money or make money available.
Should start.
Clean up, I don't know if it makes much difference, Rob.
I guess was from one way or the other with cleaner, that would be.
So would it be safe to say that if the commissioners just we're fine with the recommendation, however, council decides on what that looks like? I mean, is that an easier way to send our recommendation? We want to keep Kayla on so that we can continue with the vaccinations and the administration.
Administratively, and to continue to provide seamless service, keeping her as a part-time with as-needed hours, up to, and you can set a limit. In my mind, it wouldn't be more than 20 hours a week. So, an as-needed basis up to a certain number of hours, I think easier for the county and easier for her would be keeping her on an hourly rate on a part-time basis until a new public health nurse is employed.
Okay.
Would know that, whatever you guys decide to do, can that be addressed July 31st?
It's gonna do. Instead of waiting, good job.
That was David's favorite, not mine.
Instead of waiting till one of the days.
Why don't you guys have a forum?
Correct. Which I.
So are we able to cover to proceed with this? We're gonna wait till the 31st.
So we just need. We need a motion and a second and to vote on recommending that we keep Kayla on. However, the board deems.
I make the motion, keep Kayla on as a part-time basis. Until we hire a new nurse. $65, I say as needed. If 100 kids show up for vaccination, what are you gonna do?
Or you want to set it at the 20th, because then,
Great case, suggest.
yeah,
Up to 20 hours. Make a motion of retain Kayla to part-time status, $65 an hour, up to 20 hours a week.
I'll second that.
Motion from Steve, second from Rob. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Here, I can get with Taylor or someone and get the transfer and then it's out.
And that will then need to be approved as an expenditure by the council, right? Correct. And will that be
July 31st.
July 31st? That's the date I was looking for. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks. Hurry up and hire someone.
All right, Sharon, road cut permits, weight limit ordinance for Route 10 and Freedom House.
Let's start with the Comcast, road cuts. This is up there on County Line, just north of Route 10. This, they're tying into an existing box that's already there on the west side of County Line. Surf just did one literally to the north of that, going across into Jasper County side. This one is going into a private drive just before that, so they're tying into the same box, but just going on boring under our road. Yes.
Like motion to approve. Road cut permit on. County Road both.
I'll second it.
Motion from Robin, second from Steve to approve the road cut for the Comcast. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Are you on the next one? Okay, I'll explain that one. That one is NIPSCO. I told them they needed to submit 2 permits because they're in 2 separate locations, 2 separate roads. So they kind of left the same pictures on both of them, both of the, applications. This one is, they're doing a boring for replacement of transmission poles. The ones that are on, county line. Next to the interstate, they're wanting to move that into our right of way a little bit, instead of in the state's right of way. Just, a replacement pole that they're doing testing of the bore, boring for those poles, those transmission poles. So that's the first one. And then the second one is further down on 1200 North by their substation. Same thing, just a replacement, looking for a new location. Those are they're literally just digging. They're not going under the road, nothing like that, so.
Make a motion to approve both.
Second.
Steve, second from Rob to approve the both NIPSCO permits. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
I apologize because on these, I don't know the stickers or the signs, so.
No, so we'll find them.
Yes.
Oh, wait.
Oh. The next one is,
Oh,
next one is Newton Ridge Farm. This is out there on 100 West. Just outside of Morocco. They are wanting to put a pipe under the road, they're going to bore. In order to, run the manure under the roadway. They're asking if, in that pipe, if they can just connect on each end and disconnect when they're, instead of running the hose through the pipe to transfer that. The only issue I would have is I think they should cap those ends when they're not connected, just unless they plan on cleaning that out. That's the only issue I have.
So does the pipe exist now?
No, it does not.
So
There,
It's not a culvert, but.
Correct.
Be used for drainage.
yep. I just don't want water to flow through it if they don't cap it.
Sure.
They're not gonna clean it. So that's my only issue, and I think that they're more than willing to work with us on whatever.
So if we have a motion and this gets approved, is that something within the motion, if we say for,
For your approval.
yes, that
Yes,
the caps be.
Yep.
Put on, okay. That way it's specific to your concerns, then they're aware of it, it's in the minutes, that's how it's passed, yeah.
You have thoughts on that?
I prefer it be a pipe, if they run their hose through it. You improve one of these, you're gonna have everything there,
and
wherever it's shortest for them to run their hose. So I understand why they wanna do that.
Yeah.
But this. You're gonna have smelly pipes on the road everywhere.
Even if they're capped. I think if they're capped, you do that. If the sheriff's gonna bring them up to us, we're gonna approve them, but, and they understand, there's not cap on it, you're not doing it.
What's gonna leak out before you get the cap on? I run honey wagons, I know how that works.
relying on how careful they are on that is, yeah. I mean, either way, I mean, if they don't cap it, I'm okay, then they're gonna have to up the size of the pipe, which,
Does this does say purpose of opening to install a culvert to pull a 10-inch manure hose through.
yes,
What this says,
yes,
doesn't say to hook onto the pipe.
yes.
I'm okay with that part. But I'm not okay with how it's hooking on the pipe.
Okay.
I don't care what the other, I don't have a problem. I mean, it's a rural area, pipes will look like.
I just wanna make sure it doesn't leach into anything, so I mean, I'm okay with them going up the size on the pipe and.
So I guess-
with them.
I'll make the motion for, Northridge Farm, 2370 South, 100 West Morocco, to install culvert to pull a 10-inch manure hose through per our highway director's discretion.
I'll second that.
I have a motion from Rob and a second from Steve to approve the New Bridge Farm request. For stated. Right, all those in favor say aye.
And
Can we make it clear though that if they're not willing to follow that, they needs to be resubmitted?
yes. And they're gonna meet with me out there, work with me on that.
Not here. Alright, so those are those.
I know, I'm sorry. Cause I take them off to scan them for, and then I forget to put them back on.
Okay, and then you also sent us,
Yes, ordinance for, 300 west, just north of Route 10. Kind of looking through because I know that there've been complaints on trucks using that. Since I've been at Highway there, have never been no truck signs there, but going through the ordinance book,
There's one there now.
there's,
It's all faded, but like if by each place, it's on a pole.
oh, is it, I would have, that's the one that we put there,
All faded, you can't tell what it is.
no. I know we had put some out there when they had closed Route 10, so I don't know if that was left over from that, but, there is a ton limit on that, so I'm just wanting to touch base and say that I would like to go and post it, since the ordinance reads that way. And I haven't found anything that says otherwise. Just to kind of keep that consistent, don't know what happened, but, yeah, just wanted to make you guys aware that that's how the ordinance reads is how I'd like to continue to post it.
there was a question on. I had to
Stay above. I like getting the crap out. I have no access to that ground except off of 300.
Well, and maybe that's why it was taken down. I don't know.
Nobody ever bothered us, but I mean, how,
Usually when there's a ton sign posted there, and I know there's very rarely exceptions, but a lot of times they don't really mean for it to be on ag because that's a seasonal thing.
Right.
This is more of a permanent, constant use. Usually ag does not apply, if it's seasonal.
good, I'm good with that. All that pretty sticky.
So you don't necessarily need a motion, just pretty much permission to just follow the ordinance and replace the signs.
Yes, because I know it was brought up before. I don't know if it was in a meeting or not, but so I was kind of looking into it and then I have been receiving complaints on it. So looking further, it's like, I don't have anything that why it shouldn't be posted. It just, we're just. That's really all I want for today.
I still have this one, I think, I don't know. Triple check, I think, should we
Is
say
everything?
Chose you mine.
Okay, have you checked on it?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure, I have a quick question for you.
Yes,
County Line Road at 1200 North, at the S curve where the guardrail is torn up as
Yes.
semis. I see the utility locates are in progress there.
yes.
If every time you replace that, get torn out, can you come up with a better design, or is it just a matter?
Yeah.
Yes.
Discuss that with us.
Yes, so we're actually on the, I believe around the 24th, we're getting a concrete, it's about a 2-foot wall.
Okay, good, all
Oh,
right.
yep.
I can't see replacing it all the time, so that makes sense.
Right, yeah, with the cost, it was getting a little ridiculous for as often as we were doing that, and I think it's gonna be ongoing, so we went a different route, and hopefully that kind of helps.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome, you're welcome.
Maintenance director, work one. Linda, did you get that? You know, I sent, after
Yes.
we had discussed that, I sent it back out, so
Yes.
we're okay with
Yes.
all of that, okay?
Good idea.
Yes, so if you would like me to reach back out to work one, or if you wanna reach out to them and just say that that's fine and we're good with it.
I'll get a hold.
Okay, fantastic, thanks, thank you. Do you have anything else for us, Mark?
No, good.
Okay. Christine, do you have anything else? Jim?
just let everybody know that the towers, south face towers have been erected, they're not erected, but the sections that built like on the ground, will basically done. The tower will actually be erected July 28th, I believe it's last week of July. So those are moving forward.
Thank you. Mike?
Everything went, well with the fair and that, you know, 2 or 3, small businesses on the, to help. And we'll keep, looking with, keep our operations here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Matt?
Just real quick, like I mentioned before, we have, even for the council tool, we have occupancy for the new building, so that's all pretty much completed. We're just working on punch list after the inspection and stuff. But just very minor things that, we're still working on and stuff, so, just like to know if you guys want to do like a ribbon cutting ceremony, for the building and stuff, maybe in September. Get some stuff, more stuff set in place and stuff and cleaned up, so.
That's completely up to you. If you'd like to have one, that'd be great.
It's everybody's names on it, so. Sure.
I did reach out since we have occupancy, so the insurance is on the building, I mean, two different times, but that was on here.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Was thinking probably the end of September, if everybody, on a Saturday, if everybody's, that works best for everybody and stuff, so. Yep. But yeah, under budget and everything, so. Perfect.
I hear that.
But I know we want to spend all the grant money and stuff that's given to us, so we're still gonna have needs to appropriate the rest of that stuff, so.
So again,
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Jeremy?
That's fine. Would you give you a little follow-up on the email I sent you about the direction of reaching out? I started going through, and looking at past calls we've had there and the hours that they're requesting, and I just don't see it being a feasible thing with our resources where we're at. I don't think we need to stretch ourselves to contract with a private entity for ambulance standbys for the amount of hours they're wanting it. So I just wanted to give you that if there was frequency of calls and it made sense to be out there, I would tell you, but I just don't see it at this time, and I think it would just stretch our resources too thin, trying to commit to something like that.
I agree. Doesn't hurt to look into it.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that I did look into it, and it just doesn't seem feasible, so.
Okay.
You have anything else for me? That's all I have for you guys.
Thanks, Jay.
Thank you.
Oh, fun.
He was here.
Not bad. Bo?
all I have is just a bit of an updated estimate on our Lake Village situation.
Okay.
This isn't complete. There's still some questions about some structures and that sort of thing, but just to give you an idea which way it's headed. It's gonna be more than that. But that's, the price of the pipe went down considerably. I switched it to an 8-inch, be like a third. So that was, yeah. So it's gonna go up some more. So just talking to a couple different contractors about options of how to reconnect some of those culverts and that sort of thing. The big culverts that go on the road. And whether or not we can put risers on those structures, catch basins. I tried to go through our wonderful set of plans, which didn't give me a quantity sheet about the exact amount of dirt that was moved. But just estimating. They had an estimate, just doing the math on. And that's, yeah. So it's,
I can see an option. I mean,
No, I know.
it's terrible.
The only option would be to let it chill and see if it stabilizes.
Do you think that's gonna happen? No, I don't either.
I think you're gonna have a lot of disgruntled people.
They're spending money.
More than you have.
And
Possibly someone getting hurt.
right, and that's my district, so.
Well, and that's the other thing is, you
Why do
know,
they always call me? They call both of us about it.
Call me about it, I tell you that.
come this winter when the roads are slick.
Right. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a mess. Right.
I'll see if I can put some more numbers together. I'll get a little closer to an exact number. But that's the direction we're in.
Think you'll have something by the next grade board meeting, go over.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, more solid numbers. We'll all be there. What the training was.
Right, yeah, and I've got some other stuff. I'm trying to catch Scott, but I've got some stuff for you guys on. Small stuff too, so. Okay, cool.
On the old business?
Jamie, anything?
No, I was just here in case you guys had any questions.
Well, glad you guys see us.
Annie? I don't have.
A couple of things. You guys asked me to look into whether there's a county ordinance regarding rabies for animals. There is. Back in 2009, it says that a licensed veterinarian must vaccinate rabies, and then there is a fee schedule, and I'll send all that to you. I already talked to Chris about it. Chris asked about a demolition fund. There's actually an ordinance back in 1987 that covers that. We're probably going to have to amend it, and I can get with Chris on that as well. I think Chris and I are gonna get to know each other here maybe next month or so. We got a response from Republic Services on the email, and Diane followed up on that, so we're just waiting from their label. Matt, did you want to say anything about the proposed burn ban ordinance?
No, just that I sent it to the commissioners and stuff. Anyway, like I said, it's just a draft. If everybody likes it.
Well, and I had a change. It did say, and I talked to Jody about this, that a valid burn permit would have to be obtained from the Newton County Commissioner's Office. You probably would want to change that to the building department. Any type of permit that might be needed, but if you guys would like me to finalize something for the next meeting, I can put that on that burn ban.
Is that a normal procedure,
What's that?
For like a control burn for the permit? To go through the building department instead of specifically
Yeah,
coming
no,
to
yeah,
our.
whoever you guys want to do.
They'll set rules and certain stuff, so.
And Matt and I talked about this. The only thing I'd ask you guys to look at, it seemed like the fines for violations seem a little low to me.
That was the issue last year when
Yeah.
we put the burn ban on, was that the amount of calls and the fines were just.
Yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll compare counties of similar size to see if they have one and see what they're charging for fines and make a recommendation. I think that's all I got.
Jody? Anybody else? No?
Yeah. So a couple months ago, we had credit cards for our share there. On our current bank, we had one person get up there. So sheriff calls me, and says, hey, our credit cards are like $2,500 limit. Months ago, let's make it a little bit higher. It's not in the rule, but it took Shannon an hour and a half, me an hour phone calls. To get the deputies over that day. So we just make this $5,000, be done with this. So constantly upping his credit card, and I just call him, pay with my card. I don't care. But they're saying hours, 8 hours, call the bank twice
What travel were they doing?
for a conference,
Um,
so they do this a lot. You know, I think the body was inside the limit. We keep doing what we're doing, but when I found out, I was State Bank, we had one person who can raise a credit card limit. And of all the branches, I mean, Steve Brunt couldn't change himself, it has to be from a guy, and he's on vacation. So. That's what I think we should.
I think this was the only second time I've heard of it. We're great, and we can, I don't.
Well, it's just the second time in the last 3 or 4 months, so that's, or maybe it's been my sentence. I don't care, just saying it could be an issue, especially going with the first couple bank.
and not everybody's conferences are around the same time, right? So it's just a crapshoot on. What?
That's what we're doing now, so.
Yeah, is there a way that we can just kind of get an idea or an inventory of how many department heads we do have and just. Okay, and then I pull it back up. And then if we just review that and see which ones are gonna be questioned,
I
then,
mean, I think most departments. It's fine.
right,
Most of us only take one or two, so it's not.
right, right. There's,
Yes.
so,
Sheriff's Department, they can, we're gonna go over the limit every time.
yeah, we can take a look at that for our next meeting.
So,
Well, it's good to know, because yeah, you know,
I didn't care, I mean, it was fine with business, let's say I was on a cruise and they could bring it,
right, right,
but that guy's on vacation.
right. Okay. Sounds good. Anybody else?
I guess I have something real quick, so I guess public comment, and please don't shoot the messenger, I'm gonna steal something from somebody earlier, yeah. I happen to be really good friends with, Kevin Madison, he's reached out to me a couple of times, we did $1 million project, that, if I'm misspeaking, I'm going by conversations, right? Sewer, septic, project at the fair, that he had to warrant, I think he had a warranty on it for 1 year. I guess there were some locks that were cut that he was concerned about. Anyway, he is willing, and I would like to facilitate a member from the council, maybe a member from the commissioners, to do a walkthrough down there and kind of bring us up to speed of where we are, what his role is moving forward. It's an ask, I guess. If I'm misspeaking, someone can correct me, but I am really good friends with him. I can facilitate that. Or we're just gonna let him part his ways and not live up to his warranty. I don't know. Don't really want to get a huge discussion, just making that offer.
I would take you up an hour, but I also want a couple of minutes fair board there too to talk about at the same time.
From the conversations that I've had with him, I think that would be an excellent idea. And I think the sooner the better.
I think I catch one side and he's got his side and, you know, get them all together, figure this out at one place.
And I personally don't have a side, so I would help facilitate
I'm saying,
that.
same thing. I'm
Sure.
one side, you're here, side.
If you want to set that up, I can make sure he's there.
And the discussion should be had on whether or not there will be any additional costs to the
Exactly.
county.
Exactly.
Yeah, so my concern in just talking to him, and again, just through conversations, was that when he finished the work, he had to guarantee the work, had a warranty for 1 year. And again, this is just through our conversation, when the locks were cut, they were his locks. That may have been,
But they're his locks on my property and I gave him permission to cut the locks, because somebody had to get that thing.
yeah, so you know way more about it than I do, but from his angle, he thinks that don't avoid his responsibility. I don't know if it does or not.
And I gave permission to cut the locks off our property, so somebody get in there and fix it that second. They did. So.
Well, and I think my bigger question is where. Because I went out there prior to fair last year because there needed to be, I think, the highway put up a barricade. There was guardrail, sorry. There was quite a few asks that needed to be done prior to fair last year, and I believe all of that happened. Now, from that point to now where we are now, I don't ever remember signing anything as far as like the project's done, there's a warranty. Unless I'm completely wrong, I have not seen anything that the previous commissioners and myself have signed or.
And those are my concerns also.
Right.
And so I'm thinking if that is $1 million investment, let's don't drop the ball, right? If he's willing to communicate if you want to set up a meeting, I think the fair board would be awesome. If someone wants to represent our board, I'll be there for sure. That would,
And that was an ask from the fair board last year, was the fair board facilitated for the commissioners to come out and actually see the project, if not complete, and what needed to be preserved last year. I didn't hear or see anything this year, so that's where my questions are with all of that. So I don't, on me personally, I don't think it's done. I don't think anything's signed off on, so we just need to get those questions and answers, so. So if something goes further as far as that conversation, then it's gonna have to come to a public meeting, I guess.
Absolutely.
Because it's just gonna have to be done, or we're gonna have to have a cost estimate of how much more it's gonna be.
Include us in. If you have a meeting, include us in.
Anybody else?
Motion to adjourn. I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.